Hi my dear students, welcome to this English channel. Bienvenidos a tu clase de inglés. Y bueno, el día de hoy vamos a tomar el tema de los pasados. Empezaremos por el pasado más simple. Recuerda que los tiempos gramaticales que son simple present y simple past, que son tiempos simples, solamente llevan el uso de un solo verbo. Entonces, el día de hoy vamos a empezar con el simple past, pasado simple. Y recuerda que para usar este tiempo es muy sencillo. Creo que todavía es más sencillo que el simple present. Y además, el uso de este tiempo es para cuando vas a hablar de una actividad que realizaste en el pasado. Pero ¿cuántas veces? Una. Entonces, esa es la diferencia del pasado continuo o del presente continuo, si son cosas que realicé en el pasado y las hice solo una vez. Como por ejemplo, cuando te comes una manzana, esa exclusiva manzana, te la comiste una vez. Gracias a Dios, no la comemos y la volvemos a comer. No, o sea, la comemos y ya se pasa, como digo yo, a mejor vida. Y entonces esa manzana ya no puede regresar a volver a hacer comida. Te comerás otra manzana, pero esa manzana la comí. Entonces, simple past, ¿sí? Entonces, me levanto en la mañana, me levanté en la mañana y solamente te levantaste una vez. No es como en esos juegos de videojuego que te levantas una vez y de nuevo otra vez y de nuevo otra vez. O sea, a lo mejor te levantas todos los días y ya se forma un hábito y entonces estamos hablando del simple present. Pero actividades que hice una sola vez en el pasado las vamos a expresar con simple past. Entonces vamos a empezar a ver la gramática de este tiempo gramatical tan sencillo, simple past. Ok, let's learn it. Okay, let's see the simple past tense. As the word says, simple, we are going to use just one verb. And where are we going to use this tense? We use this tense when we want to express actions that we did in the past. How many times? One time, yes? For example, if you eat an apple, you eat the apple just one time. You can eat the same apple 2 times. Yes, that could be a little strange. Then you eat an apple, then in the past you ate an apple just one time. Yes? Okay, let's see the grammar rules that we are going to apply for this tense. In the affirmative form, you have to use, I am going to use the verb eat. Remember that the base form of the verb eat is the first column of the verb, and the second column of the verb is ate. And for the affirmative form, for all the subjects, you are going to use the second column of the verb, ate. But you don't have to think if the noun is third person or if the noun is plural. No, don't worry about that. For all the cases, you are going to write the same verb. The second column for I, the second column for he, the second column for ate. I ate, you ate, she ate, they ate. For all of them, you have to use the same verb, ate. Second column of the verb, yes? And for the negative form, is easy too, because we are going to use an auxiliary. This auxiliary is going to tell us that the sentence is in past and the sentence is in negative form. Then we have to use did plus the word not, and we are talking about a negative form of this verb. But because we are going to use the auxiliary, we don't need to use the verb in past. We are going to use the verb in the base form of the verb. Then the verb is not going to change for all the sentence, for all the subjects. you are going to write the same for I, for you, for the third person, for the plurals. Did not eat. But this is the large form. You can contract this, as always, writing the auxiliary and the word not, but we are going to omit the letter O, and you have to write the apostrophe. Didn't, did not eat, didn't eat, for all the subjects. Then you can say, I didn't eat, you didn't eat, he didn't eat, we didn't eat. And for the question form, remember that this kind of question is called yes-no question because the answer is just yes or no. For example, if someone asks you, did you eat? You have to answer, yes, I ate. Yes. You can say, for example, yes, I eat an apple, and no, because they are just asking you something, and when the answer is yes or not, that's the meaning of this question. This is the meaning of this question, is a yes-no question. Then for this question, we don't have the verb to be. Yes, can you see? We just have the verb ate. Then, in these cases, you are going to use the auxiliary, and because the verb is in past, you have to use the auxiliary in past. Did. Did plus the subject plus the verb. And if we are going to use the auxiliary in a question, then our verb has to be in the base form of the verb because we are using an auxiliary. Yes? Did I eat? And in this part you can write a complement if you need it. And don't forget that we need to use the question mark at the end of the question. Just one question mark. Remember, we don't use one question mark at the end, at the beginning of the sentence. We just use one question mark at the end of the sentence in this case. Okay, but well, exist some rules that we have to think about that. In this past tense, we have two kinds of verbs, the regular and the irregular verb. What's the difference? The regular verbs ends in ed, like the verb work. The past is with ed, worked. The verb study, the past is with ed, studied. And the irregular verbs, for example, they are two words that they are similar but they are not equal. Buy in present, bought in past. Write in present, wrote in past. But you have to memorize this kind of verbs. It doesn't exist a rule that tells you that the verb is irregular or regular verb. It's just that you have to memorize them. But with the pass of the time, you are going to memorize a lot. Please choose just 5 verbs to memorize them. Okay, and what happened for this? What happened for the regular verbs? The regular verbs, we have some rules. If the verb ends in E, for example, the verb love, we are not going to write double E. You just have to write the D. Loved. Yes? If the verb ends in Y and before the Y you have a consonant, the consonant is a letter that is not a vowel. Is not A, E, I, O, Y, U. Okay, then the consonant, if you have the consonant plus the Y, then you have to change this Y for I and add ed, copy it. Yes? But if you have a verb that ends in Y, and before the Y you have the vowel A, E, I, O, U, then you have to add ed at the end of the verb. But if you have the fourth, if you have a verb that have one or two syllables, like stop, one syllable, you have to check this verb from the end to the beginning of the verb. C, a consonant, vowel, O, and another consonant, C, B, C, and we have one syllable. Then you have to write 2 times the last consonant, stopped. Yes? The most difficult thing in this kind of verbs is the pronunciation. But I remember to watch the video about the pronunciation of the regular verbs. I see you in the next video. Bye bye.